Alright guys, so right now I'm actually editing the video that you are about to watch. And you better get ready for some, content, alright? Enjoy. Alright, so I was just about to start a video today of me working on my 66/80cc bike. I almost called it the Transformer. The Frankenstein, as I like to call it, because it's just a mess of different janky parts. It's probably the most haggard bike I've built and worked on. But I was going to start working on it, and I come out here this morning and my area is super dirty. Welding equipment, I got jack stands, a jack, I brought a trash can out because I'm about to start cleaning it all, but there's just not enough room for me to work here. I need to clean it all up, get organized, so that way I can efficiently work on the bike. So, start the video right after that. Another thing is that when you're working on your bike or anything, you want to have organized tools. Ever since I've gotten this bike, my toolboxes have just been absolutely horrible. This is where I keep all my extra spare bike parts, and this drawer is by far the worst. You can't even see through it. So we're gonna start cleaning that up, and hopefully it'll turn out clean so I can get working on the bike and film some content for you guys. So I got my area cleaned up, got the bike against the garage here. I had just gotten a Greenfield bike kickstand. It's around the same size as mine. I'm hoping that I can end up using this instead and actually make my bike stand up on its own. Alrighty guys, so for my bike, probably standard for most other bikes too, I got the 14mm socket, and I'm going to go ahead and pull off the old kickstand. This is the longest bolt in existence. Alright, let's go ahead and see if this will stand up now. Pop that bad boy out. See if she'll stand.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I mean, it'll do it, but it just seems sketchy. I'm just going to leave the kickstand for now. I mean, it'll do its job. Next, I'm going to be...
I think re-angling my handlebars. I'll show you guys what they look like now. Now.
But I want to angle them down a little bit more. Alright guys, so I do like this, the angle of the handlebars a little bit better. It feels a little bit more comfortable. So yeah, I put them back to that way. Next, we're going to be getting rid of this exhaust. It's basically straight piped, and I'm going to be throwing back on the stock muffler because I don't have enough back pressure with this tubing. So these bolts on the exhaust manifold flange, they are 10mm, so I got my little 10mm socket wrench with the extension because it's easier to reach them. I'm going to go ahead and take that off now. There it is. It's all, I don't know where this blue material came from, but it's all nasty looking because I heated it up and bent it so that the hot exhaust air coming out of the end wouldn't burn and shoot oil into my leg. So now we're going to go ahead and put on the stock one. Alright. A little big up too, but this is the stock muffler exhaust system you should get with your bike kit. I'm going to go ahead and throw this back on because As you can see, it actually still has the muffler part, and it won't be waking up my neighbors when I come home at 9 from class. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this bad boy on. Now to just speed it up, we're going to throw on the 10mm socket and get these guys tightened. When I was recording earlier, I didn't have this low of an angle, but after I got this guy mounted, the stock exhaust, I test fitted the exhaust and tried rotating the pedals. I couldn't. This pedal over on this side kept hitting it against the side of the exhaust, so I have two of these guys, so I don't really care if I break one, so instead of going and heating up the metal and trying to bend it that way, I just decided to manhandle it and pull it this way and out of the way of the pedal. Now it spins freely and won't have any rubbing issues. Now that the exhaust and the handlebars have been adjusted and swapped and whatnot, so there's one more thing that I kind of want to take care of. I want the seat to be lower, because when I'm leaning forward and down to reach those handlebars, it feels like my torso and butt are a lot higher. So I want to get this minimum without the gas tank setup rubbing against my rear wheel, so I'm going to tinker with that and see how I can get it. And it's nice, one thing I would recommend if you do end up having a beach cruiser frame and your gas tank on there starts leaking and you end up doing something like this. I'll show this in a future video, but this gas tank, basically I took the valve off the stock gas tank and had it coming out this side. I drilled a hole into the bottom and mounted it so it's sealed, and I have tubing running to my manifold or intake. So that's something I would recommend. I would almost recommend it regardless, unless you're trying to keep your bike looking really classy and old school. This is great. So with the stock gas tank, you get around, I found maybe like 45, 50 miles tops on a half gallon. This is a gallon, so I fill this up very, very rarely. This is actually only the second time. I've just filled it up the other day, and when I first filled it up and when I had this set up, I didn't look at it for almost 2 weeks, and I ride this thing basically daily. So that was great. I loved it, mixing less and less often. So it's great. I would recommend it if you don't care how neat your bike looks. I personally kind of like it. It makes it look rugged and like it was all just thrown together, like you didn't buy a kit, you just built it yourself. So I really like that, but I'm going to, like I said earlier, try and lower this all so it is a more comfortable height. So the only thing I definitely don't like about this frame is it's too small. I had to get an offset manifold between my air intake and my cylinder head because the stock manifold and air intake was rubbing against the frame. Because when I got this bike, I didn't realize that it was too small because I didn't know what I was doing. So now that I got the offset air intake, the aftermarket air intake, everything fits and runs. The only problem still is the distance between the handlebars and the seat is quite far. So I can deal with it, and it's been alright. It hasn't really bothered me, so I'm just trying to make it more comfortable for me. That's why I lowered the seat and the gas tank as low as it'll go, because I'm hoping that it'll be more comfortable. Alright, so I'm pretty stoked. It runs now. And it's looking pretty good. I've got everything where I want it. I'm starting to notice some weird sound in the cylinder, so at some point I may be taking that out, but I think for today that's going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoy, like, and subscribe if you like the content.